Fade in on a rain-slicked alleyway in New York City, the kind of downpour that soaks through your soul. A small, disheveled man stumbles out from the shadows, his oversized coat flapping like broken wings. He's singing, voice raw and ragged, the words tumbling out into the night. Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. It's Lorenz Hart, the brilliant lyricist behind some of Broadway's most unforgettable songs. And this is no triumphant serenade. This is despair set to melody. He collapses against a trash can, the rain mixing with his tears. Or maybe it's just the booze. 7 months earlier, on a night that would change everything, we rewind to find out how America's wittiest wordsmith ended up here. March 31st, 1943. The Shubert Theater is buzzing with electric anticipation. It's opening night for Oklahoma, the new musical from Richard Rodgers, Hart's longtime composing partner. But tonight, Rodgers has ditched Hart for a fresh collaborator, Oscar Hammerstein II. The auditorium thrums with the elite of Broadway, critics sharpening their pencils, producers puffing cigars, stars glittering under the lights. Up in a private box, a diminutive figure hunches in the shadows, Lorenz Hart himself, Ethan Hawke embodying him with a twitchy intensity that makes your heart ache from the first frame. Hawke, transformed with padding and prosthetics to capture Hart's 4'11" frame, isn't just acting, he's channeling a genius unraveling. The curtain rises and the audience gasps at the sheer innovation. Oklahoma isn't your typical frothy review. It's a revolutionary showbiz shakeup, weaving plot and song into something intimate, folksy, revolutionary. Rodgers' melodies dance like prairie winds, Hammerstein's lyrics straightforward and heartfelt. Hart watches, his face a mask of contempt masking envy. Fraudulent on every level, he mutters to himself. He knows it'll run for years, eclipse everything he and Rodgers built. Their partnership? Over 2 decades of magic, Babes in Arms, Pal Joey, hits like My Funny Valentine, The Lady is a Tramp, Bewitched, Bothered and Bewildered. Hart's words were clever, urban, laced with cynicism and longing. Hammerstein's wholesome, rural, populist. Hart slips out before the applause erupts, unable to stomach the triumph that excludes him. Cut to Sardi's, the legendary Broadway watering hole on West 44th Street, heart of the theater district. Caricatures of stars line the walls, cigarette smoke curls like ghosts, and the air hums with pre-party buzz. Staff scurry, setting tables for the Oklahoma celebration. Enter Hart, weaving slightly, claiming sobriety but eyes hungry for a drink. He plants himself at the bar, a king without a court. Behind the polished wood stands Eddie, the bartender, played by Bobby Cannavale with warm, world-weary charm. Eddie's no pushover. He knows Hart's demons. Water, Eddie suggests. Hart waves it off, launching into a monologue that's pure Hawke gold, witty, profane, heartbreaking. Picture Hart holding court, his voice a rapid-fire patter, jumping from dissecting Casablanca, Nobody Ever Loved Me That Way, he quotes Bogart with a sigh, to ripping Oklahoma's pandering sentiment. They think audiences want corn? Fine, but don't call it art. Enter Morty, the enlisted piano player, Jonah Lee's nailing the eager fanboy vibe. Morty idolizes Rodgers and Hart, pounding keys for their standards. Hart flirts shamelessly with a flower delivery boy. Omnisexual, he declares proudly, Hawke delivering it with defiant sparkle. But beneath the banter, a man screaming for relevance. Then the spark, his infatuation with Elizabeth Wieland. Margaret Qualley, radiant as the 20-year-old Yale art student and aspiring set designer, is Hart's muse du jour. They've corresponded for months, shared a charged weekend at his cabin that went nowhere physical. Hart, 47 and fading, sees in her salvation, a love to anchor his chaos. He plans the perfect seduction, gifts piled high, a sleight-of-hand card trick to dazzle. Tonight, he tells Eddie and Morty, eyes alight, I win her heart fully. You feel it. The desperate hope of a man who's loved beauty his whole life, but never held it. Elizabeth sweeps in, a vision in 40s fashion, her laugh lighting the room. Everyone falls under her spell. Hart's not wrong. Everybody loves her. But as they chat, tension simmers. Hart spots E.B. White, the New Yorker essayist, played by Patrick Kennedy, nursing a drink. Andy, Hart hollers, dragging him over. What follows is verbal tennis, wordplay on mice, homes, adventures. Hart spins a tale that plants the seed for Stuart Little. White's eyes widen. A mouse in Manhattan? And you realize, even in decline, Hart's genius ignites others. Linklater, master of talky profundity, makes this feel alive, electric. The doors burst open. Rodgers arrives, Andrew Scott suave and strained as the composer. With him, Hammerstein, Simon Delaney solid and avuncular, and a swarm of well-wishers. Champagne flows, telegrams pile up with rave reviews. Revolutionary, screams one. Hart pulls Rodgers aside, the air thick with history. Their partnership, fireworks from Hart's teens. Rodgers, straight-laced, needed Hart's wild spark. Together, over 1,000 songs. But Hart's blackouts, missed deadlines, toxic. Rodgers proposes a revival of a Connecticut Yankee. If Hart sobers up, Hart counters with grandeur, a Marco Polo epic, lush and epic. But it's laced with Elizabeth. Rodgers smells it. In the restroom, vulnerability cracks open. Hart confesses to Morty his failed proposal to Vivian Siegel, his former muse. She didn't love me in that way. Hart's voice breaks, raw, real. Back out, rave notices flood in. Hart musters fake congratulations for Rodgers, who sees through it. You hate it, Rodgers says softly. Their friendship? Real, frayed. Hart swallows jealousy, toasts Hammerstein, who introduces his protege, a whip-smart kid named Steven, young Stephen Sondheim, Cillian Sullivan oozing precocious fire. Hart signs an autograph for Elizabeth's friend, George Roy Hill, future Butch Cassidy director, David Rahl, wide-eyed. Focus on friends, Hart advises. They're the real adventure. Now the coat room. Hart pulls Elizabeth close, intimate whispers turn gut-wrench. She confides, trysts with a Yale boy who ghosted her. I'm smitten, she admits. Hart's world shatters. Not you, not in that way. Worse, his semi-closeted rep. Hart's omnisexuality, loving men, women, beauty itself, was Broadway's open secret. Elizabeth's words sting like truth. He introduces her to Rodgers anyway. Big mistake. Rodgers, charmed, slips her his private number, whisks her upstairs to his party. Hart alone again. As the crowd thins, Morty plays Blue Moon, Hart's haunting ballad. He stays for one drink with Eddie, regaling with stories, tales of glory, regret. The restaurant empties, lights dim. Fade to that alley. 7 months later, November 22nd, 1943. Hart collapses. Pneumonia claims him at 48. Rodgers and Hammerstein, legends forever. Carousel, South Pacific, the sound of music. But wait, don't let the tragedy overshadow the triumph. Blue Moon isn't just Hart's elegy. It's a love letter to Collaboration's knife edge, genius's fragility. Linklater with Hawke peel back layers. Hart's cynicism masked terror of obsolescence. Hawke's tour de force, grating then gripping, earns every laugh, tear. Qualley's Elizabeth, innocent dagger. Rodgers' elegance, love and loathing intertwined. Themes pulse. Unrequited love mirrors please adore me. Alcoholism as creativity's cruel tax. Queerness in shadows. Expand on Hart's legacy. Born 1895, Jewish kid from Harlem, Hart fled Columbia for showbiz. Met Rodgers at 19. Perfect yin-yang. Hart's lyrics sophisticated, rueful. Falling in love again, never wanted to. Blue Moon, rejected by Rodgers, sold elsewhere, became jazz standard. His depression, likely bipolar, fueled brilliance, drowned it. Linklater shot in Dublin, standing in for wartime New York, one location magic.
cinematographer Shane Kelly's warm glow, Graham Reynolds' score weaving Hart standards. Runtime, lean 100 minutes, packed eternal. Engage deeper. Why care? In our swipe right era, Hart screams for depth. Blue Moon whispers, adoration is rare as blue moons. Chase it or collapse. Relive key beats. Bar opener, Hart critiques Casablanca. Ilsa chose wrong, exposing his ache. White chat, Mouse needs family. Genius sparks. Rodgers showdown, staircase tension peaks. I owe you everything, Rodgers admits. And nothing. Heartbreaker. Elizabeth coatroom, Quali devastates. Fond, firm no. Hart's card trick, fumbled magic, like life. Final drink, Eddie toasts to funny Valentines. Hart smiles, bittersweet end. Blue Moon lingers. Hawke's best.